Learning disability. Thomas Edison, the inventor of light bulb and phonograph, was diagnosed with a kind of learning disability as a child, but went on to become one of the most famous inventors in history. Likewise, Steven Spielberg, the famous film director and producer, has dyslexia, and he has spoken about how it has affected his life and career. The learning disability do not define a person or limit their potential for success. So let's see this in detail. Before that, please remember to subscribe this channel. Please do watch other videos in this channel. Share it with students and those who love learning psychology. Thank you. Let's see the definition of learning disability. A learning disability is a neurological condition. It affects an individual's ability in what areas to process the information and the academic or practical skills. It includes reading, writing, and arithmetic. What are the types of learning disability? The term learning disability is used to describe a wide range of conditions that affect the learning. First one is dyslexia, a difficulty with reading and decoding words. Individuals with dyslexia may struggle with recognizing letters, sounds, and words, which can impact their ability to read fluently and comprehend written text. So, in short, they have difficulty in reading. Then dyscalculia, a difficulty with mathematics and numbers. Individuals with dyscalculia may struggle with basic arithmetic such as addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And they may have difficulty understanding mathematical concepts and symbols. So, dyscalculia means difficulty in basic arithmetics. Then ADHD, that is Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder. This is a condition characterized by difficulty paying attention. They will have hyperactivity and impulsiveness. The individuals with ADHD may have trouble completing tasks. They have difficulty in following instructions and staying organized. And they have trouble in paying attention in class or in social situations. Then dysgraphia. It is a difficulty with writing and forming letters. Individuals with dysgraphia may struggle with writing legibly, then spelling, organizing their thoughts on paper. Then auditory processing disorder, a difficulty processing and understanding the speech and language. The individuals with auditory processing disorder, they struggle with understanding spoken language. They have difficulty in following directions and remembering information. Then visual processing disorder, a difficulty processing and understanding visual information. Individuals with processing disorder may struggle with tasks such as reading, writing, and may have trouble with spatial awareness and visual memory. The effects of the learning disorder, it can vary greatly from person to person, and that many individuals with the learning disability have strength in other areas too. So these are the certain types of learning disabilities. Now let's see the causes. The exact cause of learning disability are not fully understood, and it is likely that there are multiple factors involved. Research has shown that genetics, biology, environment, etc. can play a role in the development of learning disorder. Some possible contributing factors include: first one, genetics. The learning disabilities can run in families. It suggests a genetic component. Then physical causes, the brain development. Studies have shown that certain areas of the brain may develop differently in individuals with learning disability, which can affect their ability to process information. Then environmental factors, the exposure to toxins such as lead during early childhood development, that may increase the risk of developing a learning disability. Then biological cause, the premature birth, the low birth weight and head injury. It can all impact brain development and it can increase the risk of learning disability. Then social causes, the learning and experience, the way a child is taught and the experience they have during their early years. It can play a role in the development of learning disability. All these factors, like whatever it is, genetics, physical cause, environmental factors, whether it is biological cause or a social, all these factors may increase the risk of developing learning disability. They do not necessarily cause the condition. We cannot say that the learning disability happened because of this, but all these factors can increase the risk of developing a learning disability. And many of the individuals with learning disability, they do not have a clear or identifiable cause, and multiple factors likely to interact in complex ways to contribute to the development of learning disability. What are the symptoms of learning disability? The symptoms can vary greatly from person to person, and it can depend on the specific type of learning disability. We have learned various types of learning disability, right? So the symptoms also differ based on the type. Some of the common symptoms of the learning disability include difficulty with reading and writing. The people with learning disability, they struggle with decoding words, recognizing letters and sounds, and understanding written text. Then difficulty with mathematics, struggling with basic arithmetic, understanding mathematical concept and solving mathematical problems. Then difficulty with organization and time management, struggling to keep track of assignments, materials and deadlines, and having trouble completing tasks in a timely manner. So it means they don't have an organizing skill. They find it difficulty to organize things. Then difficulty with attention and focus. They have trouble paying attention in class or during lectures and being easily distracted or forgetful. Difficulty with following instructions. They struggle to understand and follow verbal and written instructions, both in the academic and the practical settings. Then difficulty with memory. They have trouble remembering information such as the facts, the names and the dates, then recalling these information later. They have difficulty in memory. Then difficulty with motor skills. They struggle with the tasks that require fine motor control, such as writing, drawing, and tying shoes. All these things need fine motor skills. So they find it difficulty in doing these tasks. Sometimes the symptoms of the learning disability can be subtle and may not be immediately apparent. Let's see how the learning disability is diagnosed. It is a very complex and a multi-step process, and it takes several weeks or months to complete this process. It includes the following steps. First, They conduct a medical evaluation. Here, a healthcare professional, a doctor, will perform a medical evaluation to rule out any underlying physical conditions, to check whether there is any brain damage or some other conditions are there, and maybe because of that the individual has a learning difficulty. So first a medical evaluation is done. Then educational and psychological testing. A psychologist or an educational specialist, they will perform a series of standardized tests to assess the individual's cognitive abilities, then academic skills and learning style. These tests may include measures of intelligence, achievement and processing speed. After that, observations and evaluations. The psychologist or the educational specialist, they observe the individual in various academic and social situations to better understand their strength and weakness. They also review the previous educational and medical records, family history, as well as they gather information from teachers and parents. Then finally, the diagnosis will happen. Based on the result of the evaluation, the psychologist or the educational specialist, they will provide a diagnosis and develop a plan for support and accommodations. So, these steps are included in diagnosing a learning disability. Now let's see how the learning disability is treated. The treatment of learning disability is a multidisciplinary approach. It involves a team of healthcare professionals, educators, and other specialists. The goal of treatment is to provide individuals with support and the accommodations they need to succeed academically and professionally. And the treatment will help them develop coping strategies and build resilience. And the treatment depends on the type of the LD the individual have and depends on the needs and abilities of the individual. First one is accommodation. Accommodations are changes to the learning environment. If the learning environment is changed, it will help the individual to better access the information and participate in academic and social activities. The example of accommodation include extended time on test, the use of assistive technology, and modifications to the physical environment such as seating arrangement. Then comes remediation. It is a type of intervention that focuses on addressing the specific skills and abilities that are affected by the learning disability. For example, the individuals with dyslexia, they may receive targeted instruction to improve their reading and writing skill, while the individuals with ADHD, they may receive behavioral therapy to improve their focus and attention. Then assistive technology. It can help individuals with learning disability to access information and participate in academic and social activities. For example, the text-to-speech software, the voice-activated devices, and electronic organizers. So, devices that helps or assist the person with learning disability. Then self-help and support. The individuals with learning disability may also benefit from self-help strategies and support groups. These can provide individuals with a sense of community and help them develop coping strategies and build resilience. Then medication. In some cases, medications are used in conjunction with other interventions. Why the medications are used? To treat the specific symptoms of learning disability, such as attention and hyperactivity in the persons with ADHD. Now let's have a quick recap on what we have learned. We have learned the definition of learning disability. So it is a condition that affects an individual's ability to process, understand, or use certain types of information. It can impact the academical or practical skill such as reading, writing, and arithmetic. The term learning disability is used to describe wide range of conditions that affect the learning. We have learned the types. Then what all things can cause learning disability. Then various symptoms of different types of learning disability. Then how it is diagnosed and what treatment can be given to persons with learning disability. We learned all these things. Hope you like this video. Please like, share and subscribe. Thank you and keep smiling.